Welcome. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another Breathe Easy Live. We live, direct, and in full effect, y'all. I don't know how many times I gotta walk back my sentiments on Shannon Sharpe, but it looks like third time's a charm, y'all. All right, Dr. Umar Johnson standing by Shannon Sharpe, and your boy Breathe Easy gotta put his distance. All right. After what I saw today, we went on. Actually, I was live. I had a bunch of people in the building, bro. I had hundreds of people in the building. I ain't gonna hold you, and they was rocking out. It was lit. And you know what, man? Actually, you know what? Let's start off piece by piece. So today we're gonna be. I'm gonna be backtracking on Shannon Sharpe, and then there's some videos that I saved earlier that I want to talk about. So these are just random videos. Things are getting slow again, but listen, man, we keep it going regardless. You understand? So before we get into all of that, I got to do my audio checks. We got to make sure all the technicals are right. And oh snap, huh? Dr. Umar defends Shannon Sharpe, but demands Snow Bunny ban. Oh, Pink Book Lessons just drop the video. That's funny. I got Dr. Umar on the thing right now. I was just about to talk about it. Maybe we should check her. Maybe we should check out Pink Book Lessons. What she got going on. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at some videos, some very interesting videos. And then we're gonna be talking about Shannon Sharpe. So make sure you guys like the stream. If you're watching this live, I appreciate your viewership. If you're not watching this live, I still appreciate your viewership and would appreciate it even more if you like this video. So let's touch base. All right. So, some very disturbing text messages came out, and I had a conversation with a few people in my personal life, and I had a conversation with a bunch of people on live earlier today, and bruh, oh boy, probably guilty of the R word, man. And the way we all came to this conclusion is through these text messages that was released. You know what? Whose web is this? This is the Shade Room. All right. These text messages are very disturbing. All right. And after you see these text messages, it's almost like I'm not saying, and what's funny, on live, we was debating on, like, is it R word? Because here's the thing. How far in we are? We in 2 minutes. All right. Here's the thing. All right. It's like, if you they don't have the text messages here. Hold on a second. Let me get myself together. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I don't think I have the text messages. That's crazy. Oof, hold on 1 second. We're gonna pull up the text messages. I just need a little. Wait, what the hell? These guys don't got it either. Pretty sued by content creator accuser day before. My bad, y'all. Give me a second. I definitely saw. Wait, hold on. Let me look for these text messages. In the text messages, pretty much what the lady is saying is this. All right. She's telling Shannon, like, yo, I told you no means no. All right. You put it in the wrong hole. I told you I didn't want you to go through my backside, and you did it anyway. And so the debate was, in my mind, I was like, yo, is that actually the R word? Because listen, if no means no. So if you with shorty, right, you do your 3 pumps in. If she says no and you do a 4th pump, I grew up learning that's R word. You know what I mean? No means no. It's full stop as soon as you hear a no. So if that's the case for that, if the 4th pump makes it R word, then that gotta mean if she's telling you, nah, don't put it in my backside, and you do it anyway, then you'd assume that it's the same qualifications. You understand? But then we started to get into a conversation. It's like, yo, like, is it 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree? Like, what level is this? Because it's just it's a spicy situation. But let's get to the text messages. Shannon Sharpe text. So let's see what the text messages is saying, and then we're gonna get into everything that's going on. So if we visit here, oh wow, how come? Okay, boom. All right, and this is where things kind of get a little bit tricky. All right, so Um, here's what the text messages are saying, and this is a little bit disturbing. All right. So first text message up top says, "But I cried when you left because I begged you to use protection and not put it in my booty hole, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no. All right. There's a few things that I can take away from this. First of all, it's like, yo, is this man really worth $100 million? Because why are you not using protection with a 19-year-old OF model? I guess you understand. It makes you think to yourself, like, yo, bro, like some people don't deserve the success that they have. You understand? So that's the first part about it, and we're gonna dive in a little bit more on that. But then the second part is, yo, bro, she's right. No means no. You understand? And the reason why I kind of believe this part of the text message is because as a man, I know how I would react to that, especially a man worth that much money. You understand? Like the first thing in my mind, if this isn't true, is, oh, she trying to set me up. We got to play the game. What are you talking about? You was with it. I never did that. No, she didn't. She didn't. He didn't say none of that. He said, "Can I call you later?" Right here in the green. Can I call you later? It's not the response of somebody who didn't do what this woman is accusing him of doing. So, usually when we think about the R word, at least in my brain, at least in, you know what I mean? Like I think of SVU episodes, you know what I mean? Or somebody getting roofied and then, it's over. You know what I mean? But in this instance, you don't really necessarily think about the R word and these type of terms, but it is that. It is that. You know what I mean? It is that. I don't know. Like so we get into nuances when we start talking about punishment. You understand? So am I gonna punish Shannon Sharpe? I'm talking about criminally, of course. Am I gonna punish Shannon Sharpe to the same degree that I would punish somebody, a weirdo who sees a stranger walking in the alley and then hems him up and then has his way with him? That's where the things kind of change up a little bit. You understand? He's definitely wrong in what he did. How wrong is he? You know what I mean? No, that's wrong. Because wrong is wrong, right is right. It's how much should the punishment be? You understand? And when things like this happen, you think to yourself automatically, and this is what Umar, because I saw the Umar video, and we're gonna watch that in a second. You automatically think, oh man, it's a witch hunt. Black man can't get through. Old boy coming up with this $100 million deal, and that's exactly what I thought too. You know what I mean? But as more and more information comes out, I'm upset for two reasons. I'm upset at the fact that, bro, why is Shannon Sharpe even in this position in the first place? You know what I mean? I'm mad at that's not the first. I'm more mad about his actions, actually. That's really the first thing. His actions is really like, yo, bro, like you're really you violating right now. All right. And the second is like, yo, aren't you Shannon Sharpe? You know what I mean? This girl is 19 years old. She looks like she's 12. What is the appeal for this man? You understand? And that was another thing we was talking about too. And I just found out he has kids. That's so embarrassing. So it's like, yo, she's 19, she's an OF model, and she looks like she's 12. You're 50 something. Now, I've always been on the side of, yo, legal is legal. You know what I mean? Live your life, do you. But then after that, like when you step back a little bit and you think like a man, you know what I mean? You think to yourself, Shannon Sharpe has the pick of the litter. I don't care how much trash these ladies want to talk about him. Shannon Sharpe walk into a room, 90% of them are gonna bust it open. You understand? Like, look at they man like deuces, we going over here. You understand? Because money, power, success will muddy the waters. You understand? So I'm thinking to myself, this man can get any woman he want. Like Shorty says, she like to get she is a freak, but she's not the only one. You know what I mean? I ain't heard nothing new. She ain't reinventing the punanners. You know what I mean? She's doing the same thing you can get done by anybody. So you think to yourself, what is the appeal? I seen what this girl looks like. She ain't got no tickle bitties. She ain't got no curvature. She ain't got nothing. So it's like, damn, Shannon, like I don't want to. I gotta tread lightly here because it's very it's because certain accusations around men, you know what I mean, can destroy someone's career, can destroy someone's how people perceive them. But at the same time, it's like Shannon put himself in this position. You know, the way he's handled this entire situation forces me to have to draw an opinion on everything that's been presented to me. And when I see this young lady, let's pull a picture up of her. This is her right here. All right. When we got the right person this time. All right. We got the right person this time. When I see this young lady, I say to myself, he's not in love because this is clearly like a lust scenario. What about her is so attractive? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it. A pretty face and she can get a little kinky. So it's like, yo, some people would probably be thinking, like, yo, what is this man really into? You know what I mean? So you got that. And then after that, so many, if this was a game of chess, Shannon Sharpe pretty much like lost damn near all his pieces right now. Like, you might as well flip the board over, because I had to sit there and think to myself, I'm like, yeah, this man went on his own, announced this deal that he was about to get in the middle of negotiating a settlement with somebody who's accusing you of what they're accusing you. That's such a poor chess move right there. So I think to myself, I'm like, yo, bro, I got like I gotta be upset with Shannon at this point. Like we gotta be like, Shorty ain't getting no passes either, because I still think it's a money grab, because there's no criminal charges being filed. And that's very important in cases like this, because you think to yourself, if what he did was so bad, don't you want him not to do it to anybody else? And it's not like if he goes to jail, you don't get any money. You understand? Like, you can still sue and get money. So those things kind of muddy the water. So for those reasons, I'm on nobody's side. You know what I mean? Right now, we just seeing how the case plays out, and we're gonna let a judge decide. You know what I mean? Because right now it's looking spooky. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then I had some sister soldiers in the comment section, and they was just, you know, the sentiments of the sisters out there. I was like, next subject, whatever. We told y'all so. Keep messing with the snow bunnies, you know? And usually I kind of be like, oh, you know, like we hear that all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could chuck that up to whatever you want to chuck it up to. Some people think it's jealousy. Some people think, you know, it's unnecessary. Some people think it's attention seeking, and some people think it's valid. This case, I think it's valid. And this is why. Because of the first, wait, are we? The picture. Oh, I took the picture away. Because of the first text message that was revealed. In the text message, the woman is clearly upset with Shannon Sharpe for pulling off the protection, which doesn't make sense, because on the first text message, she wanted a black baby, according to her words. She wanted to get impregnated. But in these text messages, clear. She's like, yo, I begged you to put on protection. So if I'm a sister soldier, you know what I mean, and I see a big powerful black man who's willing to impregnate anything and anybody, it doesn't even matter, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, like, I might feel some type of way, because it's just like, yo, bro, like, you're pretty much giving out lottery tickets to strangers. Like, yo, you might as well hook somebody up who could use it, somebody who needs it, you know what I mean? And like, in this instance, I can see that, because it's just like, yo, bro, like, if you think about the history and you think about the sentiments involved, you know, there's a lot of people who feel like, yo, when dudes get successful, when they get beyond a certain level, they forget where they come from and they go on the other side. I don't necessarily, I mean, I see the pattern, but then again, Shannon Sharpe has been has been rich for a long time, since the 90s. So he might have been in environments that, you know, people like me and you may not have been around. You know what I mean? Probably a bunch of uppity white people, and that's probably what he knows or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you should just impregnate a random, literally a S worker. You know what I mean? Because then it's just like, damn, bro. Like, if you're gonna do that, you might as well find you something and just, you know what I mean, squeeze one out in one of these sister soldiers, bro. If you passing out babies like candy, so I can see it. Like, those other dudes that be getting, you know what I mean, like They be getting the snow. I don't know. Sometimes it's Latino women, white women, whatever. But like those dudes, usually you hear about them being in at least some kind of a relationship. You know what I mean? Something. Even if old boy got trapped. Oh, actually, that's another reason why I'm mad at Shannon. So boom. Let me finish this thought first. Like, damn, like this man is just so careless. I don't think he even knows his value. You understand? Like people are just telling him what he's worth, but he's still stuck in that poor man mentality. And if you ask me, if you're gonna put yourself in this, I don't have a quarter of the money that this man have, and I would never do nothing like. I remember when I was running around in these streets, like I remember being like, "What? You want me to take what off? Girl, stop it!" Like, you know what I mean? It's like, nigga, I ain't trying to deal with that. Let alone for somebody to be worth over $100 million, getting $100 million deals. You know what I mean? So you think to yourself, you're like, man, this man doesn't even know what he got. He put himself in his position. So, you know, you reap what you sow. You know what I mean? And although there is definitely an attack on black men, black successful men, it's like piranhas in the water waiting for you to slip up. Sometimes it's justified and sometimes it's not. You know, being a black man myself, you know, automatically you want to ride with the brothers. But when stuff like this comes out, it's like, damn, bro, like I ain't gonna compromise my morality for what you got going on. You know what I mean? No matter how much I want to stick up for the black man, it's like no means no, brother. You know what I mean? Like once you start responding with "can I call you later" after shorty saying no means no, that means you did something wrong and you got a problem. You know what I mean? So it's like you got this woman who automatically already said, yo, I want a baby. She's pretty much saying like, yo, I want to trap you. At least the other chicks, they fake it. You know what I mean? Like from what it seems like they be faking it. This woman said out her mouth, yo, put a baby inside of me. You're going to have to deal with me forever or something like that. And you got the nerve to take the condom off? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, it's gross. I'm not going to lie to you. Allegedly, she sent him messages before this saying that she wanted some real beat. Yes, that's true. And that's another thing. Let's talk about that. Because Shorty's obviously a freak. She's into a whole lot of stuff. And you got to understand that type of sexual encounter, if it's not presented in the right way, can easily look unconsensual. Easily. So you over here, you got invited to her spot. She records you. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like that's like rule number. That's like rule number one. Don't be going to these people's houses. Don't be doing that. You don't know who's waiting for you there. You don't know if it's a setup. Excuse me. You don't know what's going on. So you go over there, you break rule, you're breaking rules all over the place to the point where you even put yourself in a position for this woman to record you doing what y'all normally do. But it's like, yo, if you was a real boss, she should be coming to you, not you going to her. You know what I mean? Like and then another thing, the fact that she could even ruffle your feathers speaks like what kind of, like, I don't know. It's like the game is different. I'm not saying this woman doesn't have value, but I'm just saying it's just like play your role and know your position. You're dealing with $100 million nigga right now, and nobody knows you. You understand? So it's just like this man ain't in love. He ain't got no wife. He ain't got no whatever going on. But yet he wants to chase after 19-year-olds that look 12 and then argue with them as if he's in a relationship with them. Bro, you reap what you sow. You understand? You reap what you sow. And Dr. Umar actually kind of had almost the same sentiment that I had in the beginning of this whole debacle. We're going to watch that right here, right now, as a matter of fact. And we're going to talk about it and break it down because he also said something very important about needing more evidence. Until he gets more evidence, he's going to stand by Shannon Sharpe. And so I wonder if this evidence changes Umar's position. Let's see what's going on.
Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition.
Sorry about that.
Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition. I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay, no more snow bunnies after this scandal. If you cannot promise me that you will never...
Oh my gosh, is that her face? I just saw that. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought she had a pretty... Nah, bruh. That's her face. Like, what's up with her left eye? Did somebody hit her? Do y'all... Hold on. Y'all see the screen? Bruh, that's just some... That's a rego right there. Nigga, I could pull that. Like, what? Yo, bruh, like... I wouldn't even want to pull that, to be honest with you. I'm like, yo, she would have to throw it at me. You know what I mean? The other picture I saw was a little bit more like looked a little bit better. But I'm like, golly, bro, she must her punanas must come with the secrets of life. It's actually funny to hear Dr. Umar calling somebody uncle. It's like both of y'all unks right now. Stop it. You should be saying brother. You understand? But anyways, yeah. Hold on.
Seek the company of another snow bunny. I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. Shannon Sharpe.
So, I will say this, like, you know, I don't think it's anybody can do what they're doing. You understand? Everybody gets swayed by money. Everybody gets compromised by money, whether you're white, black, or whatever. You understand? I get what he's saying though, but it's just like for everybody who's like, oh yeah, that's what he gets for messing with a white girl. It's like, yo, a Latino would have did this, a black girl could have did this, anybody could have did this. It is a little bit like more light on it that it is like this white girl, but you know, if we're gonna be real, anybody could have did this. You understand? Any situation Dr. Umar dips his nose in, I can't take him seriously. He's too funny. Yeah, man. So that's what Dr. Umar had to say about it. You heard what I gotta say about it. I just saw Pink Book Lessons just dropped a video on Dr. Umar. I don't even know what's going on with it. Not Dr. Umar. Yeah, no, on Dr. Umar. It was on Dr. Umar and Shannon Sharpe. But to be honest with you, I think people are getting I think everything that came out about this story is what's gonna come out about this story, you know, and people are probably gonna start moving on to the next. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, man, like this is this was a firestorm, but this is a great lesson in what not to do and how not to move. You understand? It's just like this was like the biggest alley-oop. The fact that you had your lawyer come out and describe a video that wasn't even released. You know what I said on my live today? Yo, y'all got to follow me on all platforms because it's lit on the other side. I ain't even gonna lie. What I realize is at this point, Shannon Sharpe needs the video to come out. Listen, this is how. Pay attention. The fact that he described the video ahead of time, before the video came out, it leaves to the imagination, like what's going to be 10 minutes, it's 3 minutes or whatever. But now the video, I don't think the video is out. I haven't seen the video. I don't think it's out. But because she released these text messages now about the now, you know, about not going through the back door and all of this, and then the voice and all of this, it came out, we're smart enough to be able to be, I'm almost positive people would have seen a video and been like, oh, like, yeah, like, who knows, too many cutscenes. Whenever people see too many cutscenes, they get suspicious. You understand? But the video didn't come out yet, but you're already describing what's going on. And with the notion surrounding this whole thing, it's almost like now you probably do need the video to come out so people can be so she could be discredited. You thought you was going to discredit the video, but now at this point, the video would give you credibility if it is chopped up, if it's fake or whatever. If you were smart, you would have held that in the tuck, let the video come out, and then see what the reaction is. She's already, I know she's an OF model. You know what I mean? The fact that you're black, you're white, there would have been people on your side. There would have been people on your side. And then as soon as you would have dropped the texts or like, you know, of her saying, yo, I like to get choked, all of this other stuff, it might have played better in your favor. But because you jumped the gun and the video ain't out yet, her releasing these text messages makes it seem like, damn, now it's like, I don't know what to believe. Because you got to think about it too. And we was talking about not to get too graphic on it, because we was having a debate. We was like, yo, like what level of R word is this? Because it's just like, you know what I mean? Because it is R word, but like, is it like hold them down R word, or is it like, you know, like, yo, bro, like you shouldn't have did that? No means no. You got to think about it. Going through the back door for somebody telling you no, it would be painful. Like if you just imagine the situation, like she's probably like, like, you know, trying to run away, stop, like that looks like R word to me. You understand? That looks straight up R wordish. You understand? So it's just like, damn, bro, like how, like I don't, like, if she's like for real saying no, and like she's probably like, yo, stop. She's a little tiny girl. Like I could only imagine what was going on. She over here sounding like she traumatized. So it's just like, yo, bro, you might as well have held it down and did X, Y, and Z. Because I'm over here just, and if that video would have come out, that would look crazy. You understand? So it's just like, man, dog, like people with $2 in the bank account shouldn't move like this, let alone somebody with the money that Shannon Sharpe got. You understand? So it's a sad situation, but hey, man, wise people learns from other people's mistakes. You understand? So hopefully this is a lesson to be learned by a lot of people right now. You understand? So until something further comes out about Shannon Sharpe, we're gonna keep it cool. You know, I think everything that came out is out now, and we're gonna see what happens. They'll probably settle, but actually at this point, there's no point in settling. Everything's already out there. You might as well go balls to the wall court. You understand? It'd be cheaper than the $10 million that you was going to give her any damn way. You know? And I still think the 10 million, at first, like people were saying like, yo, $10 million, you're trying to get her to hush. And like, that's an admission of guilt or whatever. Like, to be honest with you, that would be if the fact that he wasn't trying to protect $100 million deal, you know? $10 million is nothing when you're trying to protect $100 million. So I can see that aspect. I don't necessarily think he's guilty just for wanting to pay her the 10 million. But if he didn't have that deal on the table, yeah, I'd be like, nah, there's something he's trying to hide, because it wouldn't cost you $10 million to make the case to be found innocent in the court. You know what I mean? Maybe a few 100,000, maybe $1 million. I doubt that though. But it's just like, you know, so there's too much stuff going on. He's moving like a sucker, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Second time I gotta backtrack. You're moving whack. You understand? Your whole perspective is whack. You know what I mean? Anyways, so that's my apologies. That's my spiel on Shannon Sharpe. All right. So moving on, we have some really interesting videos that I saved on my Instagram, and I think it's cool. I think we should watch it. I want to talk about it. Oh yeah, so the Umar was the first one. Oh, Shannon Sharpe. Okay, Shannon Sharpe, Umar. Oh yeah, this okay. You know what? Yeah, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit. This is gonna be a wild transition, but listen, man, I do what I want over here. You understand? I do what I want. Wait, should we do this one first? Yeah, let's do this one first. This one right here made me think of I've never seen something like this before. Actually, wait, nah, I guess I have, but this is really, really cool. For all the animal lovers out there, you're gonna love this. You're gonna like this. So if I share the screen. Is this it? Yeah. Look at this cool video that I saw. Boom. All right. So we got this monkey right here, right? You see the title. Bro said, throw it up here, and said, all right, we'll get it. And said, look, just look at this. You see that point? It's almost like, yo, you that guy for throwing it. And like the reason why I wanted to highlight this video is it okay, yeah, that was it. The reason why I really wanted to highlight this video is because it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet in the sense of like, wow, that's a really smart monkey. Look, in the beginning, he's literally saying, throw it up here. Like he's pointing up there. Throw the banana up there. They throw the banana. He's literally pointing up there. Old boy throws it up. He's like, okay, it's right there. I know what to do. And this is and it's cute, it's fire. You know, I know monkeys can learn sign languages. These things can be very, very these animals can be very, very smart. But the bitter part about it is like, damn, like that level of intelligence, and like, he got two arms, walk like he looks, I mean, he doesn't look like a human, but it's the closest thing, you know what I mean? So it makes me think like, damn, man, like I wish he would, like, this makes me want to have him free. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, where is he right now? Like, he's too smart to be in captivity. He needs to be on Planet of the Apes starting a revolution somewhere. You know what I mean? I saw this and I kind and it touched me. It did. I was like, wow, like poor thing is locked up. It's just like, damn, I wonder how he feels. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, if captivity is all he knows, it might not be that bad, but it's very bittersweet, and it's fire at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, where did he learn that from? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's cool. These people said, yeah. He's like, once he gets the banana, he's like, send him to the IRS. Yeah, he's like, he's pointing them out. I think that's fire. You know what I mean? And I think it should. I've always respected. I love animals. I got a zoo at my house. I got tons of animals here. It's not just the dogs. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of dogs. I love animals, and I think things like this should be shared because, there's a lot of people who, we live in a society right now, especially in America, where it's just like animals, especially the animals that we eat, it's almost like we think about it as like a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for you. I'm not trying to convince you to be a vegan or a vegetarian or anything like that, but it's easy for you to forget that the chicken wing you're eating was a living thing who had kids, probably loved its kids, probably like loves fresh air and all this other stuff. And sometimes it's good to come back to reality because we are the gods of this planet. You know what I mean? Like we run like I'm not saying like we're God, but like in terms of like the animal kingdom and all this, like we are the gods of this planet. So it's just like it's hard to it's sometimes easy to think that you're the center of the earth, center of attention, but when you see things like this, it should humble you. You know what I mean? And I think being as how we are the smartest and biggest thing smoking out here, I think it's very important that we take that. With great power comes great responsibility. No Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like this is real life. You know what I mean? And so I think that everybody should, I think it's important that I share that. I saw that this morning and that was on my heart. I was like, damn, yo, like, you know what I mean? It's things like this that really makes you appreciate, other life forms. You know what I mean? Like I don't kill roaches. I don't kill bugs. These gnats have been actually getting on my nerve. Some flies, you know what I mean? But, it's very important for people to just realize that, animals, and especially I was really for the ones that you eat and stuff like that. But these animals, they think this one's damn near seems like it's thinking like us, straight up and down. So next time you see a monkey in the zoo in captivity, just think about this video and how a lot of them they're just like us. You know what I mean? They just can't talk, but they can learn sign language. Look it up. So that was that video that I wanted to touch base on. I think this is a fire video. You know what I mean? It's funny, bittersweet at the same time. Freedom. This is sad. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta like this. Yeah, this is really sad. Let's see what they're saying underneath this. For real, for real. He wouldn't survive in the wild. That's true. He probably wouldn't survive in the wild at this point. You know what I mean? That's actually true. Actually, what's funny? Would he be this smart in the wild? That's actually that's pretty. That's something I didn't think about. There's a different kind of intelligence. Using a tool set him free. This is intelligence. I don't know what this nigga talking about. This is intelligence right here. Do not free him. There's multiple movies giving us lessons on this shit, man. Animals can be free, but problem we have hunters, and people who consume them is sad. We can only protect them by having them in cages, and we need land free hunters and scavengers. Okay, All right. So yeah, man, a lot of people feeling some type of way about this. This is going viral right now. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. There's another video I wanted to share with y'all as well. Actually, I think there's like two more videos because I put them on my Instagram stories. Hold on a second. Let me find this video. Oh, I remember actually. Yeah, this is a good video. Hold on. Is it oh, nah, this one. Ugh, this one's gonna be a little upsetting. All right. Um, okay. Is this all they got of this video though? All right, let's see what's going on. This video is very upsetting. Apparently, these Spanish people was having a party outside of an apartment complex. All right. And I guess they was being a little loud. And this woman came up and this is what she did. Look at this.
Excuse me. Okay.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey, hey.
move yourself.
Move yourself.
Hey.
They already said I could move it, so I really don't care about y'all twice. So y'all gonna move y'all shit? Are y'all gonna move y'all shit?
Hey,
No, I'm not. Then move your stuff. Then move your stuff. Then move your stuff. That's fine.
Wow. Okay, that's okay. Levántese, levántese.
I already did. Exactly.
Llámale a la policía para que...
You can always tell when somebody hasn't been punched in the face before, you know? You can always tell. First of all, like I don't even know where to begin it. I really, you know what? Let me see if I can find. There gotta be more to this video. I bet you Twitter got something. Because when I first seen this video, I was like, yo, like, what time is it? Like, that's what I really need to know. And even if that is the case, it's just like, yo, call the police. First of all, you're a woman. Sorry. Like, you going outside to a party and start flipping tables away over. It's just like, hey, yo, who raised you? Where's your man? Like, do you have somebody? You know what I mean? Like, because that's first of all, that's very dangerous. You know what I mean? Second of all, it's like, yo, that's low. You know what I mean? A kid's birthday party. This is what you want to do. You could easily ask them to quiet down. Hold on, let me see if there's more to this story. Because I really want to hold on. Woman flips table at outside party. I don't know. Friends turn picnic table on the sun, make it vessel. Nah. Yeah, I don't. Oh, Daily Mail. Oh, perfect. Haha. Yes. Oh, hold on a second. We're gonna read this. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen, and I gotta do one thing. We're gonna read this article, but hold on 1 second. Oh. All right, 1 second, y'all. Okay. I have to get some stuff right in here. So let's read this article. So you guys just seen the video. A woman flips over tables. Oh, so it was a 3-year-old birthday party? Where was her father then? I'm sorry. Listen, I don't care what you got going on. You are not flipping over tables at my 3-year-old birthday party by any means necessary. And I dare you to call the, if we neighbors, I dare you to call the police. Double dog dare you. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's see what this what this article got to say. Woman destroys 3-year-old girl's birthday party by flipping tables and tossing chairs because it was too close to their patio at a Houston apartment complex. Wait, this is an apartment complex. You don't have a patio. The apartment complex has a patio. I thought it was a noise issue. 2 women captured on video destroying a 3-year-old girl's birthday party in Houston apartment complex on Saturday. A police report indicated the incident was sparked after one of the women left the party. Felt the party tables were set up too close to her patio. The woman is seen in the video berating the party guests and tossing chairs. A Houston Police Department public affairs spokesman told the Daily Mail on Tuesday that the West Side Station is looking into the case. Harris County District Attorney refused to charge the woman due to insufficient evidence and not enough property damage to issue a Class D misdemeanor. Yeah, but if somebody would have clocked her, if somebody would have caved her jaw in, I bet you they would have had reason to file charges then. I bet you they would have had reason to file charges then. You understand? Two young women were, and then, I really want to talk about that though. I'm sorry, I don't care what you call it, bro. There's certain things, it's wrong, but it's extra wrong if a woman, like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, how do I, okay, let me say this right. Like, you should know better than to put yourselves in these type of positions. You understand? You in a group full of people, anybody there, especially a man, can easily like stop you. You know what I mean? Can easily, and he would have every reason. He'd have every right to. You understand? So it's just like it's gross. It makes me feel like these are the type of chicks that you know what I mean? They be being on a mans. They be, oh, what is this? That was just advertising that just popped up. They be doing all type of stuff, and these are the type of chicks that are totally unbearable. You know what I mean? And it's just like, like, I'm always nice to my neighbors. I used to hustle back in the day, so I've always kept that. I was always super nice to my neighbors because I always knew, I was like, damn, bro, like, I never want to get on these people's bad side, because if they really want to, they could mess me up right now. You know what I mean? So I've always had that sentiment, but it's really like, yo, bro, you want to be able to rest easy where you rest your head. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to have tension. That's the worst type of tension to have. Tension in your house, tension in your area, tension with your neighbors. Like, you can't avoid your neighbors. You know what I mean? You don't know when you're gonna need your neighbors. So the fact that two young women at that, they weren't even like old head. These are like young. That's how you know they ain't never been into nothing. This is two young women flipping over tables with a bunch of grown-ass people. I saw a bunch of men there. I'm just thinking, like, if I was her father, that's how I should talk. Okay, the reason why this is different, if I had a son and he did this, I'd be pissed, and consequences would happen. But if I had a daughter and she did this, the level of, like, I can't even comprehend, bro. I'd be like, yo, like, do-up. I be telling do-up, she be trying I honk the horn, and I'd be like, yo, who you I'd be on the phone with her, and she'd be like, me. I'm like, yo, don't honk your horn. Who you honking your horn at? Just relax. You know what I mean? Just relax. Nobody, go around them if you can. Don't be honking your horns. Because, yo, bro, like, I don't know what these people are on. You know what I mean? A lot of people see women and they see weakness. You know what I mean? So they'll do whatever they want. A dude will flip out on a woman way before he'll flip out on a man. Because we understand violence. We understand consequences in that stuff. It's just like, yo, bro, like, imagine her father, if she even had, like, she probably don't got a father. You know what I mean? Acting like that, I doubt it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if she did, she would have had her father come out there, you know what I mean, or her man or whatever. And it's just gross. It's a very bad look. The disturbing, and I'm mad that they're not charging not enough property damage. What about disturbing the peace at least? You know what I mean, or something. And also, also statements have to be made. You understand? Like you gotta set different precedents. Like, this shit went viral. You know what I mean? Like, make an example. Like, give the people what they want. Make an example out of these. So I'm not saying she need to go to jail or nothing like that, but like something, a fine, probation, like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Oh, wow, she's pregnant. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me read this. The disturbing incident unfolded after one of the women contacted the Houston Police Department to report a noise complaint Saturday. Oh, she did call the police at 9:15 p.m. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know the time. 9:15. I mean, hold on. Let's see. Actually, no, 9:15. That's not like, you can have a party at 9:15, and it's on a Saturday. Nah, you can have a party at 9:15. One of the women can be seen in the video placing one of the tables in the apartment complex pavement before returning to the other side of the table to berate the woman and the child's mother, who is 6 months pregnant. And this is them right there. Like, look at them. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm sorry. 2 women were filmed flipping. Oh, this is allegedly who turned the tables on 3-year-old Saturday. Oh, so this is the little girl's birthday party, and that's the mom. The women subsequently stood in front of the table, ordered everyone to move their stuff, and said, "I don't care about y'all recording," as a man and woman looked on while they remained silent. She twice asked the party goers, "Are y'all going to move your ish?" before she grabbed the table and carried across the patio. All right. So yeah, man, it's just there's no need for this. She called the police. I'm assuming maybe the police didn't come out there. Then guess what you do? I guess you got to go to sleep with noise. You know what I mean? Like I like whatever is going on. This isn't the response. You know what I mean? I don't care if they were being loud. I don't care if they was on your patio. No. All right. This isn't the right response, especially for 2 young women. Facts. I don't care how y'all feel about that. There's a difference. There's levels to this. You know what I mean? Because actually, a man would have came out there. Actually, it would have been no, bro. I could, like me, right? Hey, y'all are being kind of loud, man. Do you mind? I'm trying to get some sleep. Because actually, the way these people seem by their reaction, it almost seems as if you did come out there and say, "Yo, can y'all keep it down, please?" or like whatever. Like I feel like they would respond. You know what I mean? Or at least if a dude came out there, I feel like they would have responded. But for you to put yourself in that position, bro, like, nah, bro, I'm sorry, dog. Like, I know you don't got a dad, because if father would have told you never, don't put yourself in that position. I'm not saying like if this happens all the time, police ain't doing nothing. Like, you got to figure it out. You know what I mean? I get that, but this still isn't the way to figure it out. You know what I mean? This isn't it. I think it's gross. And nobody should be putting themselves in this type of position. She actually party goes twice. Are y'all going to move your ish before grabbing the table? The original video of the incident uploaded to Instagram account drew over 135,000 views. All right. So Houston Police Department public affairs woman John Cannon told Daily Mail Tuesday that Houston Police Department were looking into the case to be determined if they'll be issuing a citation to the women who are involved in the incident. Yo, you know what? That's another thing. Like, you know how many people I know that have been kicked out of housing projects for like nothing? Like, oh, bro, like they'll kick you out real quick. So it's just like, bro, you can't. You know what I mean? Y'all can't do. I'm not saying she needs to lose her housing for this. You know what I mean? That's wild. But the fact that y'all are trying to figure out what to do, I've seen a lot done for way less. You know what I mean? In an interview with Univision 45. Varela, who is Hispanic, accused authorities of racism due to the lack of response that was given to her. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Spanish. Oh, that's ironic. A Spanish person claiming racism on the black. I wasn't expecting that. Accused authorities of racism due to the lack of response that was given to her complaint after the woman trashed the celebration of her daughter. It did hurt because it was nothing that I did for her to with a lot of effort, and what she did to me wasn't fair. It's a form of racism on the part of the police. I also think that what she did was vandalism. Okay. And yo, you know what? Now that I think about it, if this was a white lady coming out to a black party, yeah, there'd be a bunch of people who would be screaming Karen, be screaming racist. Because at first, when you read that, you're like, like, really? Like, I don't, because the police seem like they didn't respond to the black chick either, calling about the noise complaint. So they're just not responding to nobody in this situation. But you know what I mean? Like, I kind of had to think about it a little bit. Yeah, like if this was a bunch of white people doing this and to a black person, yeah, no, I'm not. Like, we got to keep it 100. Like, people would be screaming racism. They would 100%. That's a fact. So you know, I think this is gross. This is gross. I don't think it's racism though. I don't think it's that, because I don't think the police are showing indifference to both parties. You know what I mean? Not just one. But regardless though, nah, bro. I'd be damned if I ever, like, when I was cool with my sister, bro, I wish this girl would have told me she did some stupid shit like that. Then I would have went off on her. I would have been like, yo, what? Nah, bro. No way, Jose. So that was the second video I want to show you guys. Make sure you guys like the stream, and if you're not watching this live, make sure you like this video. You know I appreciate your viewership. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all like the stream, like the video, and let's get it rocking. All right. So now let me see how many more videos we got, because I posted all of this on my I did this all on my stories. What's the next video? Let's see. Oh, oh, why isn't because I don't have the Ethernet. Wait a minute. Am I choppy? I forgot to put the Ethernet cord in. See. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry. This video, this is what Maryland voters think about the Maryland dad who got deported. Wow. All right. Let's see what the Maryland voters think.
Designated MS-13 terrorist, and Donald Trump deported him. How does that make you feel?
I feel safer.
He gotta go. He gotta go.
Need to go. I mean, that's it.
But he was a father.
But he's still a terrorist.
Okay. I mean, but there's children living without fathers now.
He should have picked the tree, so he picked to be a terrorist instead of worrying about his children.
The Democrats, they want him back. They say he was wrongfully deported. He has a wife and a kid who's a citizen. They're calling this a national emergency. Is this a national emergency?
I wouldn't call it national emergency. We got more things going on.
We have more things, more fish to fry.
I just found out about it, so I don't think so. What kind of national emergency? For what? What is the emergency for?
Ain't no national emergency. No.
He was accused of hitting his wife twice and was a suspected human smuggler. Was he wrongfully deported?
No. He need to go.
If he's a smuggler, yeah, he needs to be deported.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Your senator here, Chris Van Hollen, he flew to El Salvador where this guy was deported. He met with them, had lunch with them, had margaritas on the table. What's up with your senator?
I have no idea, but I do. That was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Margaritas.
You agreeing with somebody whipping their wife, terrorizing where you live, then you don't need to live here either.
Senator Van Hollen, you need to come see me, Mr. Coley, because you doing like that. You need to take care of home before you go in other states.
He went to El Salvador.
Oh, that's another country. Excuse me.
What has Senator Chris Van Hollen ever done for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
For me, nothing.
Nothing that I know of.
He ain't do me. I can admit that.
I've never even heard of this person.
Do you want Kilmar Abrego Garcia, this quote unquote Maryland dad, living back in Maryland?
No.
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 Not if he's doing trafficking. No.
Why the want somebody like that back? No.
What is your message to the Democrats who really want him back in your community?
Why would you want that in my community? Bring it to your community and see how long you like it up there.
Leave them, or y'all go over there with them.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
If they illegal come.
He was living in Maryland.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I didn't see the full video when I saw it this morning. I don't remember the last part. I just looked up the case that they're talking about. I remember hearing about this. This man is the man that the Trump administration admitted that they sent to El Salvador mistakenly. And here's what I got to say about this, actually. It's not about bringing him home for me. It's about due process. It's about making your case. It's about not having this happen mistakenly again. You understand? I think what's happening is now they're trying to smear him. Audio went out. This happened. Oh no, yeah, that must have been okay. Y'all must have been talking about before. So I think that what's happening is because the Trump administration realized that they did make a mistake. Instead of fixing that mistake, now I feel like they're gonna demonize this man to make it seem like, yo, he's a demon. Y'all don't want him back in the country. Let me tell you guys something. I don't care if he was a terrorist. I don't. I want due process. You know what I mean? Even terrorists went to actually no, they didn't get due process. I'm sorry, but I want him to have due process. I want to know for sure because the government is known for lying, especially Trump. This government is known for lying, so I don't want anybody to feel comfortable sending people to El Salvador without any real evidence, and especially if you guys admitted that you weren't supposed to send him over there in the first place. So I mean, shout out to all of those people that was listening to, that was part of this interview, but this interview was very misleading. It's very misleading. It's not about, yo, do you want this terrorist back in your home? No. I just want due process. I just want to, if what y'all saying is true, then prove it. Prove it to me. You understand? I just pulled up an article because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've only heard about this story. We're about to read the article and find out everything we need to know right now. All right. Kilmar was living in Maryland with his wife and 3 children. Oh, let me make sure. Are we okay? Yeah, we're good. Oh, let me put myself over here. All right. Kilmar was living in Maryland with his wife and 3 children when he was deported to El Salvador, thrusting his case into the center of a pivotal legal battle. The Trump administration has accused him of being a member of the Salvadorian MS-13 gang and used that as his justification for deporting him to his home country, despite the judge's order from 2019 barring him from being sent there. So now here's the thing: what proof, what evidence do they have that this man is in a gang? That's the first question I want to know. Has he been arrested? Does he have tattoos? What's going on? All right. The father, who lived in Maryland for 13 years, is now being held in the notorious mega prison. The administration has called his incarceration there an administrative error. His wife and attorney denied the accusation against him and have been fighting for his return. They say that he is a loving father and husband and has never been charged or convicted of a crime in the United States, records show. That's all I need, bro. That's all I need. So what makes him a gang member? What makes him a gang member? He's never been. That's what I was looking for. Has he ever been charged with something? Has he ever been convicted with something? How do we know? What evidence do these people have? You know what I mean? That's why this is important. You know what I mean? Like, stop believing what these people are telling you. Find out the truth for your own self. If you're going to develop a strong opinion about something, you know what I mean? Figure out what matters to you. This is what they want. They let me tell you. So actually, let me keep on reading. The legal fight over his return is ongoing. A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to facilitate an order affirmed by the Supreme Court and to provide evidence of the actions it has taken to get him back. The administration has since doubled down on his accusation that old boy was a gang member and said that it's because he's in El Salvador, it does not have the authority to bring him back. All right. So that's another thing. The Supreme Court, a federal judge, is telling you, bring this man back. At this point, I don't care if you think you're right or wrong. Aren't you guys about the rule of law? Isn't that what they talk about? Don't they talk about, yo, man, like we want to listen to the rule of law. It's about law and order. Well, the law just told you to do something. But instead of doing it, you're doubling down. These people that are elected, that are telling you to do this, are the people that we elected. You understand? So these are the people that we put in power for our best interest, and they're telling you to do something. It's called checks and balances. All right. So the fact that you're not doing it already screams like you're already wrong for that, because we have a system. a system that you said that you abide by, and they want you to bring him back and provide evidence. Excuse me. After weeks of outcry and no trace of old boy, he was temporarily released from prison on April 17th to meet with Chris Van Hollen, a Democrat from Maryland. Old boy was shown in a photo wearing a button-down short-sleeve shirt, a cap, sitting at a table with the senator. It is unclear what they discussed, but Van Hollen said that old boy's wife to pass along a message of love. His conversation with me and the first communication we had with anybody outside of the prison since he was abducted. He said he felt very sad about being in prison because he had to commit, because he had not committed any crimes. Here's the thing. You know what? How are they able to facilitate an interview, but we can't ask him back? We can't ask for him back. Let me tell you something. If he comes back and a judge says, and they say, yo, we got pictures of him with guns, or like, yo, it doesn't need to be that. He's here illegally. You know what I mean? It doesn't even need to be, he doesn't even, like, yo, he's here illegally. We don't want him, like, whatever. Just prove it to me. And I don't care if you think everybody knows. I don't care if you think it's obvious. We need you to prove it, because we know how you guys can get. You give them an inch, they take a mile. This is why you have checks and balances. All right? Prove to me that he's here illegally. Prove to me that actually, you only got to prove that part. You know what I mean? If they say he was here for 13 years, but if he's here illegally, I guess you got a leg to stand on. You know what I mean? But give me something. You understand? After meeting with the nigga's meeting with the Salvadorian president? How can you meet with the president, but you can't ask him to release the man? You know they're getting money to hold these people, right? I know El Salvador isn't doing this out of the goodness of their heart. I'm sure if Trump asked them, hey, you mind just sending that one person back? I'm sure they'll do that. And then after that, you guys can bring him right back over there if he's guilty. You know what I mean? After meeting the Salvadorian president, the man said he will remain in prison now that he's been confirmed healthy. And you know, how long are these people supposed to be in there for? Like, is it just indefinite? I don't know. How does that work? If you don't have due process, like how do you get sentenced? You know what I mean? How long are they supposed to be there for? Like, is it sick? Are they just, when I first saw that, I thought they were sending them to El Salvador to hold them, to send them out to their countries. You know what I mean? Like, there's some Venezuelans over there, there's some Mexicans over there, there's a bunch of people over there. I thought they was putting them there so they can deport them. I thought it was like a fast track to deport. Like, we don't have time to figure out what country you from. We don't got enough planes. We're just gonna send you all to El Salvador for right now, and then we're gonna figure it out later. That's what I thought was going on. But it seems like they're just locking them up. I don't know if they got any sentencing or what. That's scary. You know what I mean? It's scary because the administration itself admitted that it was an error. So that's like, we got to talk about principle. We got to talk about morals. We got to talk about like right and wrong. If you admitted that you was wrong, out of here, hold on, my bad, Dharma. Out here, cases, even from his wife. Oh, Marco's in the building. Allegedly, he was with a group of other gang members who tossed some weed under a car. Allegedly? Hold on. Nah, let's look that up because that's important. Let's look that up. Shout out to Marco. Shout out to Marco in the building. Dharma Asia. What up, Dharma? We missed you yesterday, Dharma. What up? Hold on. Let me look this up because I feel like that's important because I need something. That's all I want. I just want something. You know what I mean? Like, just give me something. Safe house. Okay, let me put weed. Tattoos linking to MS-13 gang. Expert cast doubt on trans claim. Hold on, let me see what Marco said. Marco said, allegedly, he was with a group of other gang members who tossed weed underneath the car. Allegedly. Let's see. Because that should be able to that should be able to come up. Hold on. Let's see. So we're gonna domestic violence. Hold on. A criminal fact check. Claims made about the deport. Okay, hold on. We got a fact check right here. Maryland. Oh, there's a video. Word, because your boy didn't feel like reading. Hold on a second. Oh, this is on the screen. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see what's going on.
Still refusing to give a federal judge information on Kilmar Abrego Garcia in that case, but they are saying that they're going to engage in, quote, appropriate diplomatic discussions with El Salvador. And in court papers filed today, the government is saying that they will not answer any more questions regarding Garcia because they are treating the case basically like state secrets. Now, all this is happening as Democrats are on the ground in El Salvador demanding updates on Garcia, pushing for his release. Let's bring in NBC's David Noriega, who is
another
also
thing too. You should always be concerned whenever your government tells you they don't want to answer any questions. I don't care if you voted for them or not. Those answers are for you. When they don't answer questions, they're taking something away from you. I don't think people understand that.
Out there in El Salvador. David, I understand you're actually headed to Garcia's old neighborhood out there. What are people saying where he grew up?
Yeah, Gotti, so I spent a good part of the morning today in San Marcos, which is the part of San Salvador where Kilmar Abrego Garcia grew up. Heard a lot of interesting things. You know, neighbors, former neighbors of the family who doesn't live there anymore, said that they were a regular family, but the mother ran a small business from their home, making and selling tortillas. And that is what made them a target of the gangs, because they were targeting her for extortion fees. Now, at the time when Abrego Garcia was living there as a child and a teen in the 2000s, is right when these gangs were really establishing pretty much full control over that neighborhood and many other neighborhoods in the city and elsewhere in the country. And that is why the Abrego Garcia family says that he, at age 16, had to flee to the United States. Now, things have changed very dramatically in just the last few years. That is because of President Nayib Bukele's so-called state of exception, in which he suspended constitutional protections, many constitutional protections, and incarcerated more than 80,000 people with little to no due process. Now, the responses to this that I heard from people in this neighborhood were complicated. They were mixed. On the one hand, people are very grateful for this newfound sense of peace and tranquility, the sort of freedom, as they describe it, from the gangs. I spoke, for example, to one restaurant owner in this neighborhood. I asked her, how have things changed in El Salvador in recent years? Take a listen to what she said.
Bueno, han mejorado bastante. La seguridad en el país es muy buena. La tranquilidad también. Hoy te puedes dormir en tu casa pues tranquila. Puedes abrir un pequeño negocio tranquilamente sin esperar que te vengan a amedrentar, a amenazar.
At the same time, Gotti, a number of residents of that neighborhood and other parts of the city have told us, although usually they're very careful to only tell us this off camera, that they don't feel comfortable criticizing the Bukele government, including what they describe, you know, the stories that they hear of innocent people getting swept up in his crackdown on the gangs. And that is because although, you know, they used to be afraid primarily of the gangs, they now realize that sticking their neck out in any way, publicly criticizing the government in any way, could lead to reprisals, Gotti.
Yeah, such a complicated reality there. And now when it comes to the $6 to $15 million that the United States is paying El Salvador for the deportee detainee deal.
Wait, I want to know. Okay, all right. Here's what I got from that. It sounds like old boy was arrested, right? It sounds like he was arrested back then, back in his home country, because they had like a bunch of gang problems, and in order to solve that, old boy was just locking anything and everything moving. That's not what I want to know, though. I want to know. I saw a DV legal fight. Weeks after country and no race, he was temporarily released. Oh, wait a minute. Weeks after the alcohol. Okay, no. Yeah. From El Salvador. Oh, that's him right there. Bro, if it's this hard for Fox, they would have had this out there. I don't know, Marco, because I feel like it shouldn't be this hard for me to find it. They would have put that out there. Officers said they consulted with the past. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Oh, wait. Okay, when Alvaro Garcia was arrested, this is what you was talking about. Okay, my bad. Oh, Marco, you was right. All right. Hold on. When old boy was arrested, can y'all see the screen? Hold on. This looks important. When old boy was arrested, he had just under an ounce of weed on him, according to the police department. The drugs were seized by authorities, authorities did not file charges. Okay. One of the men arrested that day was known to the Prince George Police Department as an MS-13 gang member. Oh, okay. According to the documents titled "Gang Filed Interview Sheet," that gang filed interview sheet. That was the sheet they. Okay, police interviewed the men, including Old Boy. The document said he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and hoodie with rolls of money covering the eyes, ears, and mouths of the presidents on the bills. The officers said such clothing was indicative of Hispanic gang culture. Okay, that's okay. The officers also said they consulted with a past proven and reliable confidential source who advised that Old Boy was an active gang member who had a Montclair Chili. What's that? His attorneys noted that Old Boy was not charged and said in court documents that there is no reliable evidence in the record to support that he's a member of MS-13, adding that the allegation is based on hearsay, relied by a confidential source in the clothes he was wearing. Prince George County Police Department. Okay, wait. But before let's process that because that I'm not gonna lie, that's different. So you was riding around with known gang members. Okay. So that's why the clothes matter. I see. Because if you're riding around with Bloods and you got on a red shirt, it's not like you was just walking around a Blood neighborhood with a red shirt. You're in the car with known Bloods and you got on a red shirt. Okay, all right. I can kind of see. I still don't think I still. All right, let's keep on reading. The officers also said that they consulted with a past proven. His attorney noted, okay, Prince George County Police Department said multiple members of its gang unit interviewed the 4 men after their arrests. Its detective had reasonable suspicion based upon their training and experience to say that 3 of the men, including Old Boy, displayed traits associated with the MS-13 gang culture. This was based on tattoos, clothing, as well as information from a source, police said. Police did not arrest any of them. They said they had not interacted with Old Boy again and had not received any new intelligence related on him. One of the detectives who interviewed the men was a former officer who was suspended in 2019 as a part of an unrelated matter. Police said Mendez pled guilty to misconduct in office in an unrelated incident. As a result of the department's proposed that Mendez employed to be terminated. As a result, the department's this is a whole different story. I want to talk. Police identified 2 men of whom having been previously detained on a murder investigation. Oh, wait, no, being detained on a murder investigation is different. According to the Department of Homeland Security documents from 2019, Old Boy denied being connected to a murder investigation, the documents say, and he was never charged. So he was all right. So you know what? All right, now maybe he had like some street in him. Maybe he definitely has some street in him. If he's hanging out with gang members, niggas, actually, never mind. if people are questioning you about major incidences like that, okay, it's not a good look. It's definitely not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm still not at the point where I think I need to deport him for being a gang member. I still need more evidence for me to believe that he's a gang member, but at least I at first I thought these guys were just lying and just pulling it out the crack of their ass. But I mean, if you're getting arrested with a bunch of gang members and the hat thing, if that's like a thing that they wear, you know what I mean? I don't know. After old boy was arrested, he was taken to Prince George County Police Department. The release documents April 6th was the fullest detailing the circumstances around his arrest and came after weeks of pressure on the administration officials to prove its content was a member of MS-19. The Department of Homeland Security also posted on social media that old boy's wife received a temporary protective order. Oh, this was the DV. Okay, so he's not squeaky clean. He's not squeaky clean. My bad. I'm not as much as they're doing right now with the deportation. It would be a huge human rights violation just to deport an actual legal citizen, green card or not. Factory. But he got hit with the gang enhancement. Like you said, if you're with Bloods and you got on red too, yeah, bro. I can't, you know what I mean? Like if you in a Blood neighborhood, you in a car with Bloods and you got on a red shirt. Whew. All right. And then Marco's also saying, I'm not a street dude, but if I get caught up in a sweep with gang members, I'm not just walking away clean. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on, Marco. Yo, Marco. Nah, thank you. Because I didn't know none of this. And I don't know if a lot of other people knew a lot of it. But I'm still not on board though. I still don't know enough. I still don't know enough to say, yo, he's a gang member, but yo, it's definitely spicy right now. Let's keep on reading. After survive, oh, okay, this is the DV stuff. I didn't know about this for real. The Department of Homeland Security also posted on social media that old boy's wife had received a temporary protective order against him in 2021. Vasquez did not appear for the hearing, and the case was ultimately dismissed. She released a statement explaining what happened. Okay, what did she say? After surviving DV in a previous relationship, I acted out of caution after a disagreement with Kilmar by seeking a civil protective order in the case. Nah, mama, that's not good enough. I'm sorry. Protective order in the case. Things escalated. Vasquez Sora said in a statement Wednesday, oh, that's her name, Vasquez. Okay, that's her name. Things did not escalate. I decided not to follow through with the civil protective order. No one is perfect, and no marriage is perfect. That is, yo, this is why, bro, yo, fellas, yo, you know what, yo, man, I suggest. Hold on, let me. Yo, one thing that yo, fellas, if you were a chick or if you were somebody who's like really easy to hop on that phone, you know what I mean? Like, and you ain't, because right now it seems like, I don't know, but I think she's lying though, because nobody, like, you don't go out and put out a protective order if you don't feel like you need protection. You know what I mean? She's saying she did that out of a precaution because they had a disagreement and she didn't want things to escalate. It sounded like the disagreement got really heated, maybe even physical, and she went out and put a protective order. But we know how that go. You know what I mean? Old boy come back to the house, they make up, she don't show up to court, and they just dismiss it or whatever. So if what she's saying is true, then this is like halfway. Wait, no. If what she's saying is true in the sense that she just did it for protection and things did not escalate, meaning she did not need to put this protective order on that man, I have to make sure I'm clear about that. Then you kind of, if by your logic, which I don't believe, but by your logic, ma'am, you kind of caused, you gave them the reason. You understand? If you did that and you really didn't need to, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of caused, you did that. But in my opinion, I think she's just trying to protect him and she's trying to backtrack. But based off of your logic, that's real scummy. Like, but then again, it's like she would rather come off as scummy than to be like, yeah, I'm sending the father of my children to jail. So I understand both sides, but yo, man, you can't play with prison and jail and calling the, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You can't do that unless you really, really, really need to do that. You know what I mean? You really need to do that. You know what I mean? Like, we all know it's different, and they cause that environment. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, oh, wow, you know what? That even happened to me. I remember. Damn, I remember that. I had something going on, and I needed the ambulance. but because of the nature of the situation, they wanted to send the police too. And I literally remember telling the 911 operator, no, just send the ambulance. She said, no, we can't do that. And I said, don't send anybody at all. And I hung up the phone, and they didn't come. I remember they really did. They listened to me. When I was younger, I called 911 and hung up, and they showed up. But this time, like they didn't show up. So it's just like, yo, man, like if you don't need the police, don't call the police. Straight up and down. If you don't need the police, don't call the police. You understand? Let me cook, easy. Now that's a fact. Hold on. I'm not. Yeah. Now that's a factory. Marco, you cooking for real, man. Thank you. All right, now let's see. The administration accused old boy of being involved in human. Oh, no. Let's go back to because I skipped the DV part. After surviving DV in previous. Okay, no one is perfect and no marriage is perfect. This is not a justification for ICE actions of abducting him and deporting him to a country where he was supposed to be protected from deportation. You listen. All that I want still stands. If all of this is true, present it in court. Let a judge see this and decide. But hearsay is still dangerous. I do not trust authorities figures in this country. They've given us all enough reasons not to trust them. We can be proud in our distrust of authority figures in this country. You are not delusional. You are not crazy. Most of them are not meant to be trusted. With that being said, these checks and balances apply to criminals as well. You understand? We don't want the criminals here. Fine, get them out of here. But let's make sure that they're criminals first. And even if you believe he's a criminal, which honestly, I still don't believe he's a criminal, but he's not as squeaky clean as I thought he was. Regardless, though, even if you thought he was a criminal, you should still want them to go through the full process because all they need to do is just get you comfortable with the fact that people aren't going through the full process, and then they're gonna start picking like Marco said. Like Marco had a really good point. He said it would be as much as they're doing, it would be a huge human rights violation. Not if they make you feel comfortable with it first, Marco. If they can get you to feel comfortable with it first, it won't be as bad. You understand? Oh wow, I've been on here for an hour and 21 minutes. What time is it? Oh my god. Oh, I'm bugging. I wasn't. Oh, somebody wants to send me a message on Instagram. Okay. You know what we're gonna do, y'all? We're gonna pick up. We're gonna do a part 2. All right. If you're not watching this live, I need you to like and subscribe if you want a part 2. We're gonna dive in a little deeper. I need to know everything I need to know about this case because now I'm invested. All right. So if you're not watching this live, make sure you like this video and comment. Let me know if you want to see a part 2. We got to deep dive into this because there's a lot more to this story than was originally anticipated. I've been on this stream for too long. Y'all know I don't be on here too long, bro. I got stuff to do. You know what I mean? I got time for me to skirt straight up out of here. You know what I mean? But I appreciate Marco for pulling up. Dharma agent in the building. Sorry, Dharma. I didn't even tap in with you like that. Out here, they say he has. Oh yeah. No. I remember reading that. Yeah. Thank you, Dharma. Thank you, Marco, for putting this out. Cause your boy was stressed out, bro. I'm like, damn, how the fuck? What are they doing? Like, da-da-da. But we gonna see what's up. And if anybody watching this has any more information that they want to let me know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this is all lies. Maybe there's something I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section, man. But anyways, it's late. I gotta go, man. I'm out of here. Breathe easy, y'all. Peace out. It's past my bedtime. You know the vibes. Like and subscribe at the same damn time. I'm out of here. Peace.